I'd say probably within 6 months of us starting and picking up glass and plastics off the ground, the staff started to see the public coming in with their own recycling, and the passion developed in amongst all of us that we really believed in what we were doing, because we could see that the customers were believing in what we were doing as well.
When you look at the waste stream and what's coming in, I have mornings where I'm reminded of David Longy saying, you know, New Zealand is a land of insurmountable opportunity, because that's what you see. You just see so much stuff coming in. Wow, what could we do with that? At the moment, about a third of our household refuse bag is food waste, and that could be being turned into soil. A terrific proportion of the non-household waste that comes in is construction and demolition waste, and much of that could be reused and recycled, and we currently just don't have the space to do it. In the waste and recycling business, you've got three important vectors you've got to keep a hold on. One is the cost of labour, which is actually pretty easy to predict. The other is the product price that you get for your recyclables, which you have no control over at all, because we're tiny. I mean, the whole of New Zealand is tiny. We are price takers in the market. So the only thing you can do to protect yourself there is ensure that the product you send to market is the highest value product. That means the most pure bales, the least number of contaminants, you're getting the highest price. And hand sorters, and particularly the hand sorters in our operation at Queenstream, can produce first-class bales every time. Much better, in fact, than a $35 million plant in Waiheke can. And then the third thing that you've got to worry about is the price of energy, because essentially you're a transport business. And the price of fuel, well, it's been going up a lot. And if you are faced with uncertainty around fuel in a transport type business, then the logical thing to do is to decentralise it as much as possible. Waste on Waiheke is always going to be dearer than it is in the city. To start off with, we don't live all bunched up. You know, we have one Waihekean for every 0.8 hectares, whereas in town you've got 24 people per hectare. So in a business like waste, which is driving, you've got to drive further to get the waste. So it's going to be dearer. Our roads are little, they're narrow, they're not very well formed. You've got to use a lighter truck. That means you've got to go back to the depot more times. That's going to cost money. There's only one way out of that, and that is to have less rubbish. You see, the real effort has to be made in reduce and reuse. You only recycle what you've failed to reduce and reuse. What are we doing now? Well, we're doing about 1,300 tonnes a year of recyclables, cardboard and paper, plastics. We take every grade of plastic. Glass, we won an award last year for innovation in glass. We've got a big glass crushing plant. We've done a big project with the University of Auckland about different products we can make out of that. We take about 25,000 litres of cooking oil and we convert that to biodiesel to run our trucks on. We've got a new project going at the moment with our least valuable plastic, which is the old supermarket bags and margarine containers and stuff that it's pretty hard to do much with, along with the polystyrene meat trays. And we're melding those up together with paper waste from things you can't recycle, like fruit juice cartons and bits of old bamboo, to make a new board, which is going to eventually be a compost bin.
We've got a wonderful shop starting up again that's just had a revamp done, and there's a lot of stuff that we can take out of the landfill and put into the shop or to put into the community in some other way.
We're one of the few places in Auckland City where you have public recycling bins, and that was always part of the deal, that what you did at home you could do out on the street as well. And we need to do that to get our visitor population recycling when they're here as well.
Waste Resource Trust and Queenstream are both committed to the idea of developing the local economy. It's part of our charter as the Waste Resource Trust. And you know, we pour more than $500,000 a year in wages back into the economy. But what we do that's really exciting, that isn't being done in many other places, is we take the recyclables and we add value. So we try and send things to town when they are worth the most to us. If we send cardboard uncompacted we get about $80 a tonne. If we go to some trouble and make it to export size bales and slide neatly into a container, then we can more than double that. Similarly with our plastic bottles, we compress those down to 1/23 of the size they were at the beginning. And so we use local labour to add value and have higher value products. It's a bit like thinking of Waiheke as New Zealand and Auckland as Great Britain. We're not sending frozen sheep carcasses, we're sending high-end product, and that's good for our local economy. The idea of taking all of our recycles out of here unprocessed is a foolish idea, because it's not good for our economy. We want to keep the work here and keep the value circulating here.
Where are we going in the future? Zero waste. That's what we want for the island. We want no waste produced whatsoever. Or if it is, we can find a use for it. So it's going to be a long road. We need the transfer station upgraded to the full resource recovery park, and we need every single one of us doing our own bit to buy less rubbish in the first place, to reuse stuff so that you don't, if you can't not buy it, and if you can't reuse it, if you can recycle it, that would be best.
We've run pretty hard putting this whole thing together. It feels like we've had 7 years of perspiration, and what we want out of the next 7 years is 7 years of inspiration and innovation. We're determined to be an evidence-based, clever company. If we can be the smartest company, what we've got to sell is not just our labour, but our expertise. And our vision is that Cleanstream will be the place that you come to if you're a remote community, or if you're an island, and there's a whole bunch of them north of here who've got big tourist industries and terrible waste practices, who are really going to need our help. And this will be the place that you come, that you get your technology, that you get your training, that you get your advice. And I think we can have a fantastic relationship making sustainability work all around the Pacific, and run it from here on Waiheke.
My opinion is that the Waste Resource Trust and Cleanstream are the key to the solution of the waste problem for Waiheke.